For Tanya Finlayson, words have always been a bit like making music, meticulously stringing notes together for others to understand.
Nicely done.
Born with cerebral palsy, Tanya originally learned to communicate using a keyboard and a stick attached to her head, crudely and often painfully typing out her thoughts. Then she discovered Morse code, a series of dots and dashes that Tanya can trigger through these pads with simple side-to-side head movements, making it infinitely more easy to string those words together. She eventually developed her own device that opened up a whole new world for her.
Morse code has always been a lifeline to many people, but it has always been a very small market.
Very, very excited to have Tanya and Kim join us today.
That market just opened up. Developers at Google learned of Tanya's work, and in May, the company's CEO announced he's partnering with her to introduce a Morse code application to its Gboard virtual keyboard. It will allow people to communicate via Morse code on their iPhones or Androids. Morse code gives the disabled many more options to express themselves. Tanya hopes this news will send a message to everyone else as well.
And understand that the potentials of people who have disabilities are every bit as limitless as those who are able-bodied.
Limitless defines Tanya Finlayson. She's conquered her disabilities in every respect, from skydiving to giving birth to her son Michael.
I'm honestly not surprised. She continues to amaze me with every single thing she does every single day.
Dots and dashes creating a composition that speaks volumes about the determination to overcome.
I want every person to be able to find their voice.
In Kirkland, Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.